when you're in pain, soothing as a springtime rain, to have a friend right in your corner, your heart will feel a little warmer. Tender loving care, tender loving care, each warm and friendly touch lets someone know you care so much. Tender loving care, tender loving care.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Greenbrier Almond, and thank you for joining us on our program, Tender Loving Care. Each week for a long, long time we've been talking about issues of tender loving care, and what better way can we talk about it than with animals and pets. And we have a very special guest, Veronica Grant.
Hello.
Veronica, thank you for letting us interview you and for telling us about your love of animals and Pet Door Rescue.
Thank you. I appreciate being here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, how did you become interested in pets and animals and then Pet Door Rescue?
I've always had an interest in animals, and there were 4 local ladies, friends, 4 of us, 3 friends and myself, and we were rescuing animals on our own anyway.
Okay.
So we just decided to join our forces, and and our husbands were about ready to wring our necks, so so we all came together and decided to form Pet Door Rescue, and
I think it wasn't it Benjamin Franklin? He said we should all hang together or we'll all hang separately.
Yeah, that's about the truth.
So you hang together
Hang
to
together.
save the lives and the lives
right.
of the animals.
Yeah. And we really complement each other well. You know, a couple of us do, like dogs, do more dogs than cats. A couple do more cats than dogs. And, you know, we really have a good mix.
Good. Now we have a guest here also.
Yes.
And
this is Grayson.
Grayson, okay.
Yes.
With God's grace?
Yes. Actually, when Grayson came to Pet Door Rescue, this is another one of my foster fails. She's been with me almost 3 years now.
Wow.
But when she came, she was very pregnant and she was very, very sick. The vet seemed to think that she was not well enough to give birth. She wouldn't make it through the birth, but also could not spay her because she wouldn't make it through that surgery. So
wow, right on the last legs.
Yes, and she was just about ready to pop. And she, bless her heart, she just really was a fighter. And so I would keep her in one of my rooms, and I would go in every evening, and I would lay my hands on her belly and just pray. And actually, I changed the spelling of her name. It was spelled, the people that gave her to us, they spelled it Greyson, and I
just
changed
with
it.
the collar over.
Yes,
Okay.
and I changed it to Gracen. And actually, she ended up having her kittens on Palm Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she had 3 boys and 2 girls, and I named the 2 girls Mary and Martha, and the 3 boys Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, she's a very special kitty, and she is my therapy cat. She's gone to Union Elementary School several times.
Okay.
She's gone to Wesleyan
Wonderful.
College for study breaks. And so she's pretty much a
She doesn't mind strangers then?
no, not at all. She loves the college girls. She usually ends up cuddling on the couch and going to sleep for the afternoon.
Wow. Well, that's great.
Nice break for both of them.
You know, there's nothing like showing love to an animal. I mean, they don't, even if someone's treated them harshly, they love
Yes.
again.
Yes.
They don't hold
Absolutely,
bitterness.
unconditionally.
Yeah.
They are very forgiving animals, and you know, even the ones that have been mistreated. A lot of people will say that they're mean, they're biters. I would say 90% of those are just scared.
Yeah.
They fear bite, not because they're really mean, just because they're scared.
They're just
and
scared.
Several animals in our local shelter, unfortunately, are euthanized because they're labeled biters. And really, if they're taken out of there and cared loved a little bit. You know, they're great, even family
Yeah.
animals. And I have to pay tribute to our local animal shelter here, Lewis Upshur Animal Control.
Okay.
They are doing a phenomenal job. I used to not like them at all because
Yeah.
they euthanized animals. When I got into Pet Door Rescue, I realized
Yeah.
it wasn't their fault.
No.
It's the people that don't spay and neuter.
And people also just tend to just drop them
Drop
right at their
them.
door. I mean, what do you
Absolutely.
do if people keep dropping at your door?
They only have so much room.
Yeah,
You know, there's
yeah.
sometimes there's no room at the end.
Yeah, right.
And they have no choice, so they have to pick and choose the ones that they think would be best adopted. But they are awesome people up there, and they have a good volunteer group that's with them, working with them. They're getting some contacts out of state even, so we can get some of those animals out of there and keep our euthanization down.
Good.
But
good.
I want to give them credit because a lot of
Right.
people, they have a bad name. A lot of people
Well,
don't like what they
I
do.
like them myself, though I don't associate with them very much. I mean, you know, except as neighbors in Buchanan. But this is a good story. Dad lived 3 years after Mother died, and this is always very hard for older people. They'd been married 51 years
Right, yes.
when Mother passed away, and he had his dog, Briar, and so. But Briar would be lonely, I think, sometimes. Dad would probably take a nap or something. And anyway, if he started checking the boundary of the property, the next thing you know, he'd be across the property, down the street or over the hill or something. And most of the time, people would call up and say, "Doc, your dog's over here on Rigger Avenue, and if you just come by, we'll get him." But once in a while, he'd get to the dog pound.
Uh-huh.
And at the first time, they charged, I think, $15. And then after that, they just called up and said, "Your dog's
Your dog's here." They recognize you.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. That's
So,
good.
But he would actually. Briar had several people. We found out later. They probably fed him something, and then he
Right.
would just take a nap in their yard and wait for their kids to come home from school. And anyway, he had his little circuit. Yeah.
He was a neighborhood dog.
The neighborhood dog. Yeah, yeah.
Very nice.
But
That's a good
animals are
story.
great. Yeah.
Yes, they are, and you know we have several people. You want it down? Okay, go ahead. We have several people that feed animals. You mentioned going to house to house.
Yes.
A lot of elderly people
Mm-hmm.
that honestly they're on a fixed income and they spend every dime they have to feed the neighborhood cats. Those are the people that we reach out to, and we try to get all of those cats fixed. They'll have people drop animals off to them because
Yeah.
they know they feed them. What they don't understand is these people don't have the funds. You know,
No,
they really
no.
don't have the funds to do that. So
We adopted an animal in our neighborhood, a cat, and I think we never know where she came from exactly,
Right,
but
yeah.
there was an elderly lady a few houses away, and she was getting more frail, and eventually went to the hospital, then a nursing home, we believe. And anyway, the cat started being around in the neighborhood, and so we started feeding her, and she became ours.
Right, yeah.
And we loved her for 3 or 4 more years. I mean, she was an older cat.
And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I thank God that there are people out there that actually take these animals in.
Yeah.
And, you know, now with Facebook, you don't know how many show up at someone's house and they post them on Facebook and end up finding the owners.
Because of the picture. Isn't
Yeah,
it great?
absolutely.
That's great,
Networking,
yeah.
social networking is great. We had a lady here in town who lost her little dog, a little Yorkie, and we thought we spotted it down on Raleigh Street, and it actually was someone else's little dog that looked like that one. It was a pregnant female. Hers was not. And anyway, she ended up finding it in Raleigh County. So she was. It was crazy that
Raleigh County.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean, this is like 100 miles away.
this
Yeah.
owner reached out at social media, newspapers, television stations,
Wow.
and everything.
Wow.
And what happened was some people had been visiting relatives in Buchanan, saw the dog. The dog had bolted out of the owner's house, and
Okay.
she couldn't find it. So she was, the dog was running down the street. The people stopped to pick it up, took it to some other relatives for Christmas. And gave it to the kids. Well, as soon as they saw it, they were like, "This is someone's animal."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they ended up kind of advertising that they found a dog, and the owner was advertising that she had lost a dog, and they found each other,
Connected, right.
and it was a great reunion. They met
Right.
in Doddridge County, and
Veronica, you were, and that's a wonderful story too. But you were, just to keep us off that, you were telling us earlier about how animals can be identified. This chip idea,
Yeah.
and it's worth mentioning, isn't it? Because
Sure.
if an animal gets lost or whatever happens, like it just gets sort of in a car in a van and goes
Right.
to a different city, there are ways to identify them.
yes, and you said car or van. A lot of times in the wintertime, cats will get up into engines of vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
If they're lucky enough not to get injured,
Yeah.
they can be taken miles away, and you go to work 30 miles away and park your car, and the
Yeah.
cat jumps out, and there it is. But microchips are a wonderful thing, and those are implanted by the vet. It's just a little rice-sized pellet that they inject under the skin, and you register that with the company, and then if your animal is found by someone else, they can take it to usually the animal control facilities, and all veterinarians
Okay.
have a little scanner. They just scan it, and it brings up all of your information, your phone number, a picture of the animal, any medical problems they
Wow.
have if they're diabetic, so that whoever finds them knows they need medical care.
Yeah.
And that's a phenomenal way to bring animals home to
Yeah.
their owners.
That's great.
So it's wonderful.
Do they discover that online or just go to the veterinarian?
They can actually, usually the company itself, like I register mine through Home Again, and
Home Again. Home
yeah,
Again,
Home,
okay.
and you can go to homeagain.com. I'm sure there are several others, but the vet that I use, Upshur Veterinary Hospital, that's the
Home Again,
Yeah, that's
okay.
what they use, and the scanners, if I'm not mistaken, will scan any company.
Okay. Sure.
But yeah, the company, once they get word that your animal has been found, they notify you. If you lose your animal, you notify the company, and they automatically send an email to every other Home Again member, so that those members, because they will have those emails on file,
Sure.
those members can be looking out for your animal.
Wow, that's great.
It's awesome. It really is a good thing, and being an animal lover, I can't imagine missing my animal. So I'm going to
No.
do everything I can to
Right.
watch for someone else's.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
And I'm thinking about, do you need to have her, does she just want to go into another
okay.
door?
She's okay.
Cats, our cats, we finally put a pet door in our
Yeah.
home, but because if they're out, they want in, and if they're in, they want out. And Grayson, you're just something else, aren't you? Huh? You're just something else.
And ours like to bring gifts into us through the pet door too.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
snakes and bats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
squirrels
Yeah,
and
we've had Romeo, my son's cat, would kill a mouse or something and would bring it into the bedroom and put it at the foot of the bed. I mean, it's wake us up in the morning. We'd say, "Oh," but he was showing us a kindness, I think.
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bringing you a gift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a gift. Yeah.
We always try to, like I said before, we've gone to Union Elementary School and worked with some teachers there, doing some education programs for the kids. And we always try to do a lesson when we go. We will take Brooke Scott, one of the teachers there. She's since retired, but she was.
She loves her
great.
animals too,
Loves
doesn't she?
her
I always
animals.
see her walking her big dog.
Yes, her dogs.
Yeah.
Well, she did a great
Greyhound, a type of
reading.
greyhound.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an Italian Greyhound, I believe.
Yeah, wonderful dog.
But she had a reading program, and she divided her class half cats, half dogs, and they had a competition. And whoever read the most, if the cats won, then Pet Door Rescue came in with cats.
Ah, okay.
And if the dogs won, we brought dogs. And we always tried to give a lesson that month about whatever animal we were bringing. Sometimes it was how to approach a stray dog.
Yeah.
Or one time we did a demonstration on, and this is a good one to bring up too, with warm weather coming. What is the temperature in your car when you
Oh,
leave an
yeah.
animal in the
Yeah,
car?
and little children too.
And
My
children,
goodness,
yes. But people think they crack a window and that's enough air, and it's not. It's
No,
actually
no.
at least 15 degrees hotter in your car than it is outside, and that temperature continues to rise
Right.
the longer they're in there. But things like that we try to teach the kids, because kids can go home and tell mom and dad, and that is a big part of handling this problem.
Sure.
The overpopulation, the just the neglect and mistreatment
Right.
of these animals is
And if
the
there
education.
and you, everyone will know by now, Veronica's a great pet lover. So, but if they want to get in touch with Pet Door Rescue, let's give the address so
sure.
people can know. Facebook is a big deal out of Facebook. Pet Door Rescue on Facebook. The email is pets R, like the letter R, and A, must, M-U-S-T, at yahoo.com, or 304-439-1172. And you all, as a group, are incorporated, a nonprofit,
Right.
Raise money, because a lot of these things, fixing the animals,
Yes.
it costs some money. I mean, there's real cost,
Yes.
and it has to be covered. I'm sure the veterinarians are donating their time in many
Yeah.
cases.
We they have been very good to work with us. Helping us with discounts on mass production.
Yeah,
But we they still have costs too.
Sure, yeah.
So we do have an account that we constantly have a balance due on, and we try to do 3 or 4 major fundraisers a year, and then a few smaller ones too. We have this time of year we're going to start planning our 5K.
Okay,
which
and you're wearing
usually-
last year's
Yep, this is last
t-shirt?
year's T-shirt.
5K.
You always
And
get a
where do you-
T-shirt.
Where do you run usually?
In town, the
In town,
Riverwalk.
Okay,
Usually
sure.
our venue is at the college, at the Fountain, West
okay.
Virginia Wesleyan College.
Great.
They're very gracious to let us use that as the venue. And then we run our trail goes around the Riverwalk. And
Okay, so
through
very
some
safe
of
for
this-
families
Yes.
to run.
Oh yeah. Usually sidewalks there or on the river trail. So and we bring animals down. We have a dog dash after the 5K for the people. We have a dog
Okay.
dash, which is from point A to point B. People run with their dog on leash, and the dog gets a bigger gift than the winner of the 5K.
okay.
The dog gets a medal
Uh-huh.
and also a big basket of doggy stuff. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of people socialize in, bring their dogs. It's kind of like
Yeah.
a dog park for the day. A lot of good times there.
Good.
And we do that usually anytime between August and October. We try to watch the surrounding events and see where we can squeeze it in and not have too much
Yeah.
competition.
One time, and this was before Pet Door Rescue, but when I was a little boy, the college in the summertime would have some summer activities for children. So you could come and play games and be there for the mornings or something like that for a couple weeks. And so along the way, they decided to have a Bring Your Pet Day. And we were blessed to have a horse.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we rode our horse down from off the top of the hill and down College Avenue and out to the college. And I think we had the most unique pet that day.
Very very unique.
Pinto Scout, a wonderful
Pinto
horse.
Scout.
And he was the best animal in the world. I had 4 sisters and myself, and we would ride bareback, and sometimes we would fall off. And as soon as someone fell off, he would only walk gently with us,
Aw.
but he would stop and just stand there.
He knew someone fell off.
Yeah, someone fell off, and wouldn't step to the left or right or hurt us. I mean, he just loved us.
And aren't they incredible?
Yeah, the animals are incredible.
They are. They
Absolutely.
are. And some people think I'm crazy, but one of the dogs will bark or one of the cats will meow, and I know exactly which one it is. They have their own little tone and their
Yeah.
own little personalities. And
Right.
people who say they hate cats, they obviously haven't spent any time with
Right.
cats, because they're really super intelligent cats. They can be trained like dogs.
Right.
So-
I worked 4-H camps and loved that. In fact, I'd work any camp there is when I was in college, and every week I'd be at some camp. But anyway, I had the honor 3 years running to go to the state fair, and I was to supervise the boys showing their sheep, prize-winning sheep. But they're up in the loft above the sheep, and there's a bah, and the boy knows exactly that's my
Which
sheep.
one?
Well,
Wow.
there's hundreds of bahs,
Yeah.
but they know that something's happening with their sheep, and they would go down. And of course, the lamb or the sheep would respond to the boy too.
Wow.
And it
that
was
is
amazing.
great.
Yeah. And the Bible talks about that. Jesus says, "My sheep will know
Know my voice.
Know my
Yeah,
voice." Yes.
absolutely.
And it's very true. I mean, Jesus was, of course, teaching from what he saw but he knew a lot about animals too, I
Yes,
think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. But people, you can do the 5K. That's one of the
right.
things. The fur ball. That
Fur
sounded
ball.
fun. I'm not a dancer, but I love that name, fur ball.
Fur ball every year, November-ish. Usually it's usually we try to do somewhere between Christmas and Thanksgiving, but it's a dinner dance, and we kind of go all out semi-formal,
Okay.
and we usually do a baked steak dinner or something. My husband's usually the cook.
Okay. It was good.
He's always
Good to have
been a
talented
good cook.
husbands.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
But we do the fur ball, and we have either a band or a DJ. We've done both. We decorate. Everyone gets dressed up. We have streamers and lights, and it's just really.
You have to dress like a cat?
No, I have, but no.
just really nicely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We do silent auction. Anything that we can do at that point to try to get some
Sure.
funds, and that's one of our outreaches too with the community. So we
So if you're
usually-
listening to the program and you want to be involved in any of these things, again, you can go on Facebook.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
can go to the Pets Are a
Must.
Must at yahoo.com or 304-439-1172. And if you leave a message for Veronica or one of the other folks who check the line,
Yes.
then they'll get back to you and you can get involved, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, and we welcome that. And any fundraising ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of sometimes get burnt out on what can we do, something
Yeah.
different.
Oh,
so
tell us about another of your members has these little glass jars at
Yeah,
22 places around town.
we have a lady who's dear to our heart who she feeds and helps care for a lot of the feral cats, and she has taken many donation jars around town at a lot of the businesses and just placed them by their cash registers.
And God bless the 22 businesses that have allowed it.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, she sent me a text the other day, and she deposited $300 some odd in our
Wow.
account. So
Yeah.
that is that's great. $300 you can spay.
So if you're making
7
change
cats.
at a store and you have some pennies, dimes, nickels,
Yes.
quarters, and drop them in.
They
right?
add up. They really
Yeah,
do. They
add
add up. Every little bit helps. Some people say I can't give $100. I can't give $20. $5 makes a difference. $5 is a vaccine. So
Okay.
anything that you can do. We our animals that we adopt out. We have an adoption fee, but that covers them being spayed or neutered,
Okay.
and that covers their vaccines, including their rabies shot.
And this animal would have been in someone's home for a while. I mean, you're hoping you use the term failed adoption or failed foster care.
Yeah.
How did you?
I
mean,
am a failed foster over and over again because
because you adopt them.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, taking them in is a plus. That's not a failure, right?
Right. No, that is not the
to get
failure.
them go back out the door.
Yeah, it's the turning them over.
Okay,
And
yeah.
what happens
But
usually?
these are animals that you know, or whoever has them know they're good animals, right?
Sure,
You-
yeah.
You can say to the parents, well, here's your 3-year-old, and this is, you want a first animal, and this is going to be a
Yeah,
good one.
we do try to match the animal with the
Okay.
family. Now there are situations that we've kept animals that we feel aren't really adoptable for anyone else. Elderly animals that have health issues.
Okay, sure.
We will keep them if we have room in our homes. I have one right now who is just a sweet old cat, but
Yeah.
he's
Oh my, this is one of the saddest stories. I keep telling my stories.
No, that's fine, that's fine.
But we had a cat come to live with us, and someone had clipped all the
Oh, yeah.
the nails, and so the cat really couldn't defend themselves, and so I would walk across our driveway to, help me garden, and the birds, I don't know how they knew this, the birds would come down and attack him, fly down and over him,
Oh, no.
just taunting him, because they knew he couldn't scratch back.
and a lot of those cats learn to defend themselves, even without their claws.
Well, yeah, well, he lived to be very old, so.
Yeah,
But,
but sometimes, for instance, if
Okay.
it's a cat that has been declawed and we can't find an inside home anywhere else, someone may right now we have a cat that has diabetes.
okay.
So that is a special needs home that we're looking for him. And several times that happens. Certain
Yeah.
animals that we feel they thrive when they're in a foster home, and we don't want to move them and stress them out.
Sure.
So if that foster home is willing to keep them, then by all means we let them adopt.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. It's a good program. For the only bad thing is then we lose our foster homes sometimes.
Yeah.
Then when they run out of room, we have to
Right.
find
So-
other
so
fosters.
you could become a foster parent here.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, not that if you're interested in children, that's certainly a big need, but pets.
Pets
today.
also, yeah. They do need
Yeah.
foster homes, and we don't have a
Yeah.
facility. We operate solely on foster homes.
Okay.
So, and we can provide, all the litter, food, whatever they need for the dog or cat, and help them do that. It's
Yeah.
definitely welcomed, and we need foster homes all the time.
Great. Well, I want Veronica to have the last word here. Maybe your address again.
Could you tell my husband that? I get the last word.
I've been watching Fox News.
I'm sorry, what were you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
The address?
You're throwing this off here. Your phone where people can call if
Okay.
they want to talk about pet door rescue.
Yes, absolutely. You can call us at 304-439-1172. Donations can be made on PayPal at petsareamust@yahoo.com, or they can be mailed, snail mail we call it, to 350 South Tenney Drive, and that's in Buchanan. So we welcome any, like I said, no donation is too small, and anyone who's interested in helping, please contact us.
Great. Well, thank you.
Thank
Veronica.
you so much. I appreciate being
Yeah.
here. Thank you
And-
very much.
And a special thanks again to Channel 3 for this opportunity to come your way each week. We look forward to more programs of tender, loving care.
Stories of a West Virginia Doctor, written by Dr. Harold D. Allman. A collection of 55 short stories about his experience as a small-town doctor in central West Virginia. And Tender Loving Care. Stories from a West Virginia Doctor, Volume 2, written by Dr. Greenbrier Allman, using videotapes to write 70 additional stories of his father's very colorful life as a small-town doctor. They can be found for purchase at Amazon.com and most local bookstores. Tune into Channel 3 Buchanan for Tender Loving Care with Dr. Greenbrier Allman, where he talks about the connection between Christianity and medicine.